Hey, it's John Alapic. Welcome back to the show. And today I am going to review an album by one of the great old school heavy metal bands going today. This is Armored Saint with their ninth album, Emotion Factory Reset. This was released on May 2026 on Metal Blade Records. This was produced by Joey Vera, who is also their bass player. Armored Saint have one of the great consistent album catalogs in heavy metal, and this continues that wonderful trend. This is a kick ass album. And I would already put this in the top half of my Armored Saint albums if I were to do a ranking today. So let's get into the packaging here. I'm not really a big album covers guy, but I quite like this album cover. This is really, really cool. This is from the booklet, and of course, here's the album right here. You go in, we have the credits here, the booklet that I just had slides into here, and we got the CD in here. We got good packaging on this one. We don't have the CDs just slipped into the side here and slipping out on you and being all loose. We don't have that. We have the locking mechanism here that you should have on all CDs as far as I'm concerned. If you want to use cardboard packaging instead of jewel cases, I get it. But you got to lock in the CD, and we got it here. And, you got a variation of the album cover here on the CD, which is very cool. The musicians who played on this album are the incomparable John Bush on lead vocals, Jeff Duncan on guitars and vocals, Phil Sandoval on guitars, Joey Vera on bass guitars, vocals, and production, Gonzo Sandoval on drums and percussion. John, Phil, Joey, and Gonzo are all original members of Armored Saint. Phil left for a period in the 80s and then he came back. Jeff Duncan's been with the band for probably 35 years or so now. So you got a tight unit here, a very well recorded album here. Joey Vera's production is outstanding. We always talk about Andy Sneap's productions in the heavy metal world. He's been the producer for a lot of these great latter day albums by Judas Priest and Acceptance, Saxon. I'm more partial to Joey Vera's production because you can really hear the rhythm sections on his productions, and of course he's a bass player. He's gonna focus on that. But there's great space between the instruments throughout. Excellent production. How's the album? Kicks ass. Let's talk about it. The first song on here is Close to the Bone. We're coming out on all cylinders. We got a great raging yet melodic opener on here. We have great interplay on the guitars between Jeff and Phil. John comes out smoking with his vocals. His vocals on here, as on all the Armored Saint albums. And the albums he did with Anthrax are top notch. Pulls no punches. This is a very strong opener. Brings this album out to a raging start. We go into Every Man, Any Man. We have the rhythm section open this one. Wonderful bass lines on here from Joey. The guitars, the interplay works very well because you got one guitar playing that riveting staccato guitar line and the other one playing the power chords. And it works very, very well. The chorus on here is kick ass. This is raging. Great guitar solos on here. You have Phil and Jeff alternating solos throughout, and they have very distinctive styles. Works very well. Another strong track. Next, we go into Not on Your Life. Slightly more melodic, but we got really cool riffs on here, particularly in the chorus. Got some great echo effects on John's voice on this one, worked very well. Another cool track. Next is Hit a Moonshot. We have another driving track on this one with a wicked riff, great musical bridge on this. And this is a little more melodic. I think the chorus really, really kicks ass on here. I love the pre-chorus, work it to the core, jack to the core. Works very well. Kicks ass. Buckeyes, the next track. Buckeyes, the power ballad on the album, but boy, it is done so well. The guitars on here are excellent. Lyrically, this is the best track on the album. And I think vocally, this is John's finest performance on the album. This is excellent. A lot of emotion in John's voice on here. A lot of emotion on the guitar solos as well. This is very well done. Excellent. Definitely one of the standouts. We get back into the heavy, raging metal and Compromise. Great stop-start rhythm on this one. Thing about the rhythm section on here of Joey and Gonzo, they are really displaying their chops throughout. Excellent. We got a great breakdown here in the musical bridge where you have the alternating guitar solos and we even get a bass solo from Joey on it. Very cool. Excellent track. It's a buzzkill. Love that rhythm that's starting out laid down by Gonzo. The guitar lines on here are very memorable. Very catchy track. Chorus is very cool. This is more mid-paced, menacing, and melodic. Very cool. John's vocal on here is wonderful. Excellent. Throwing caution to the wind. We got Joey and Gonzo once again laying down a wicked groove on this. Gonzo's drumming is really a highlight on this. This is a pretty solid track in regards to the rest of the album. Not one of my favorites, but it's still solid. Very cool, very driving. Ladders and Slides is the next track. That is my favorites. One of my favorite songs from 2026 so far. This is awesome. And it has that nasty groove laid down by Gonzo and Joey. I love the guitar lines on here. The guitar lines on here are great hooks. You have a great vocal melody on here, and you have great vocal hooks on here, particularly in the chorus. Awesome. There is so much love about this song. I think this is the best track on the album. Mid-tempo monster, but it's just full of great metal hooks on here, and it kicks. Bottom Feeder, one of several songs on here, which has a pretty cool atmospheric intro. Joey does a great job with some of the intros on these songs, on this album, and as well as the other albums that he's produced with Armored Saint. This is very, very cool. Again, this is more mid-tempo. We got a nice musical bridge here. We got a nice vocal hook in the ring the bell part in the pre-chorus, the ring the bell lyric, I should say. This is very cool. The solo on here is wicked. Very good. Epilogue. This is the driving closer. Probably the most raw, production-wise. And it has a really cool chorus on it. Another strong bridge on here. The musical bridge and the solo works very well as also. So cool solos throughout. Everything on here is very good. I put stars next to 6 of these songs because I think they're standouts. My favorites on here are Hit a Moonshot, Buckeye, It's a Buzzkill, and Ladders and Slides. Ladders and Slides, I think, is a absolute scorcher. And this album is an absolute scorcher. Armored Saint have a great catalog of music. Yes, they've only done 9 albums, 9 studio albums of original material, but you have to take into consideration John Bush did 4 albums with Anthrax as well, so he was in and out with Anthrax. They've only been putting albums out about every 5 or 6 years or so. In the last 16 years, last 16 years, this is their 4th album, but everything they give us is very, very strong. How would I rank this album? This is an easy 9 out of 10 for me. You want great old school heavy metal in 2026? This is where you go. This is Emotion Factory Resets by Armored Saints. So, what do you think of Armored Saints music? And have you heard Emotion Factory Resets? What are your favorite songs on the album? What do you think of the production by Joey Vera? What are your favorite albums by Armored Saint? Did you only get into them the first several years when Dave Pritchard was in the band? Sadly, we lost Dave Pritchard in 1990 due to leukemia. Or have you followed them all along? What do you think of this album and their later albums? What are your favorite tracks by Armored Saint? Have you ever seen them live? I've only seen them live once. I got to rectify that. I saw them open for Wasp 4 years ago, and that was actually when I really started getting to Armored Saints music. I only had the live EP Saints Will Conquer back in the 80s, but as time has gone on, Armored Saint have really grown on me. Excellent catalog. So, let me know what you think of Motion Factory Reset in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching the show today. I'll talk to you soon.